This time on First Impressions, Gennaro Gattuso.
So what do you think of your team's performance at the moment?
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit. Ladies, gentlemen, and all other gender-specific pronouns, this is Two in the Bush. I am Shaun, and I'm joined, as ever, in the bush, by Timothy Broad.
Hello.
Who is very quickly closing Facebook before I could notice, but I
No,
did.
I was turning everything down to zero.
Oh, right,
I was
okay.
turning all audio things on my phone because it does go. Rick, you know what? I'm going to dive straight in. Recently, I've been receiving messages again, not of the
From
weather.
people. It's a miracle.
The miracle. No, but it.
No, that's harsh. I
What
apologise.
is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, right. It's somebody called Peter.
Peter.
Michael, I'm Peter, and I'm here to give you a gift of financial freedom.
What?
That's just a text message I got from somebody called Peter.
Well, clearly it's a... But
Michael, I'm not even... Right.
that is clearly a scam, but why you just... That is the stupidest scam I've ever heard, by giving an... Like, you're not going to know who... someone's name by their phone number, so just putting a random name in is not going to help your cause.
Is Michael the most common name?
I don't think so.
It's so specific.
Even then, though, it's not like hot 50% of the British public are called Michael.
And here's another one I've been receiving from Mr. Jackpots.
Mr. Jackpots.
Mr. Jackpots.
Mr. Jackpots himself.
You've been chosen to try the new online casino, Mr. James.
Mr. James.
100 euros has been offered to you. Code bonus M100. Who the hell are all these people?
Well, they're clearly bots.
But I don't know why I'm being targeted. Do you know who? I reckon it's
I want to see...
I would not be surprised if it's Bay Spice. I would not be surprised if it's Bay Spice have just sold it off to all these different companies.
That's a local Indian restaurant, for those who are unaware. For those,
Bloody hell.
which is probably most of you. So... I mean, I'd quite like to see, if it isn't a bot, what the Jackpot family is like to live with.
Mr. Jackpot.
Mr. Jackpot, Mrs. Jackpot. Oh, no, it doesn't need to be Mrs. Jackpot. It's a modern world. Could be another Mr. Jackpot.
Could be another one, you say.
Yeah.
Or it could be Mr. Old Uncle Pennybags.
Again, for those who don't know, that is the name. That is the official name of the Monopoly man, who we have given as a nickname to one of our friends, because he just carries on beating us in Monopoly.
Well, he's beaten us in the last 2 games.
Yes.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Although...
One of those was entirely my fault, but...
That's alright. Hey, talking of which... We'll talk about it afterwards when we begin our first segment, which is...
Oh, what? You want wordplay?
I would like a wordplay, please.
Okay, I will go and give you a wordplay.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, right. So what we do every week is I just have a file in my phone of random word plays that I come up with, and I will give them a setup, and Tim tries his best to think of what the actual pun is before I say it.
It has been consistently more and more convoluted as time has passed.
Right, this one is not very convoluted. I'll go for the least convoluted one I have. Okay, so this week, Tim, you could win.
I could win.
That's a change we're putting in.
Good.
We said you have one, but you could win. A really bad spirit of an age.
The spirit of an age.
It's the shortest one I've got.
A spirit of an age.
Setup-wise.
Are you talking about an alcohol?
No.
Damn it. A spirit of an age. Huh. What kind of spirit?
Which in spirit as in like...
You talking about like a ghost, like the past,
in a
past, present, and future, like spirits?
A bit,
ghosts?
but it's less like a ghost, but more like a... I don't know how to describe
Spirit
it.
of an age. The reason why I said spirit is because I thought old moot. That's all I could think of. That's not even a spirit, strictly. I don't know.
Okay, it's a shitegeist.
But what is a shitegeist?
Well, shitegeist isn't anything. What is a pun on the zeitgeist? which is a German phrase which comes over into English, which translates to the spirit of an age. And shite is for something bad.
I think there's a reason why we don't use that expression.
Well, you use it.
Do we? I don't use it. Oh, do you know what's really annoying? My left leg's gone completely dead, and I've only been sitting on the sofa for about 10 minutes.
That's what podcasting do to you.
Right, let's bring back the circulation. Okay, Zeitgeist, never heard of it. I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of the
Spirit
Zeitgeist?
Of an age.
Well, that's a new
sorry.
word to add to your vocabulary.
Is it a word or a phrase? What does it mean? What does the phrase mean?
Well, a spirit. The Zeitgeist is like. It's like a It's almost like if you gave like a generation, like a whole generation, if they had a sort of persona or personality trait, that would be what the Zeitgeist is.
So could you say that the Zeitgeist of the 60s was drugs and hippies?
In many ways, you could say that.
Okay.
I mean, you could also say it could be something a bit more, well, important than just hippies, but like the non-segregation stuff. But yeah, hippies.
Hippies
or happies.
Happies, sorry, what?
You said happies.
Happies. I thought I said hippies.
I mean, I don't know. It sounded like you said happies.
Yeah. We'll find out. You'll find out when you're editing this.
I will. Will I correct myself? No.
Probably not.
I'll probably forget to even listen to it.
Now, should we move on to our segment of Electric Dreams?
No.
Why not?
I tell you what, if people actually did care for this segment, that'd be a very cruel way of saying that we're stopping doing it.
Sorry.
Yeah, for those for the new listeners, both of you, you'll know. You know. Wait, no, you won't know. It's old listeners, both of you, that will know that we would sample the works of a man called Jim will Paint It. You can find him online. He released a book of all of his many lovely illustrations on Microsoft Paint.
They're on Tumblr.
Called Jim will Paint It. Called Electric Dreams rather. He's called Jim will Paint It,
and he's on Tumblr.
He is on Tumblr.
Yeah.
And we go through them basically for our own entertainment. And we always kind of knew that it wasn't really an audio section. We basically just did it for us. Because
we thought it'd be entertaining to talk about what we were seeing.
Yeah. But we decided it was probably best to cut it astray.
Yes.
But do not get us twisted here. We still like the book.
We still love the book.
Go and buy it.
Go buy the book and the second one.
It's good. And the second one, which you never saw.
I'm yet to see it in the stores, but I'm sure I can find it online. But it's a very good book. It just it's a visual thing for one's own enjoyment, and maybe not necessarily for an audio-only podcast.
Yes. And I mean, we could get a camera, but if we were just getting a camera for one quick segment, that would be a bit pointless. Although we are working on some camera-based things, which we've already recorded. So look forward to that in the future.
By the time this comes out,
probably be after this one.
Just afterwards,
at some point.
I know it's Feed the Roots.
Yes,
was a visual element.
As a visual element doesn't mean you wouldn't be able to listen to it if you just prefer listening to them.
No,
but you can watch it as well.
It's all inclusive, not exclusive.
Whenever that comes out.
Whenever it comes out.
So yeah. And also, another quick change we're making is we're making a change, not getting rid of it, but making a change to the band name segment.
Just going for one.
We're going for one instead of three.
Just hit home with one really good one.
Yes. So this week's band...
I had one.
Did you?
I did have one. But I don't know if we've done it already. I don't know if it's a band that already exists. Can I actually say one? Can we do two? Oh, we're just going to break it. I actually have one in my life. I actually had one.
Okay, go ahead.
Sunny Side Up.
Sunny Side.
That's got to be a band that exists.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna Google that.
I know it's a way of serving your eggs.
Side Up
band. If it's not a band, I'll be amazed.
Well, the first thing that comes up on Siri Knowledge.
Yes.
Sunny Side Up is the second studio album from Scottish singer and songwriter Paolo Nutini. Which I probably should have known, because from memory, I think my dad owns that.
Huh.
I'm going to say Sunny Side Up.
Yeah.
Band.
Is there a band called Sunny Side Up?
Let's...
If there is...
Googling live on air.
If there is one, I'm not offended, because it means it's somebody...
There is!
I'm not offended.
Sunny Side Up is a Chicago-based bluegrass band that incorporates elements of jazz, rock, and traditional music too. And that's just a preview thing. So I'm going to go onto their website and read out the rest of the thing, if it loads.
If it loads. I'm not.
It's got quite a nice sort of.
I am not offended by the fact that a band.
You can tell
has
they made
used
it. They seem like the sort of band. Oh, the picture of them is
That's
right.
it.
So you've got a guy with an acoustic guitar. I think they're all mic'd for singing.
Yeah.
So you've got a guy with an acoustic. You've got a guy with a double bass.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a banjo player. And then a guy there, which I can only assume with a ukulele. No, actually, no, that's not. That's a lie. I zoomed in further. It's a mandolin.
You know what? Let's give them a listen. Not now.
Not
we'll
now.
give them a listen. I just want to listen to them now.
I can't find the summary that it had up on here, but.
I remember
But
just
do you want to hear a review from CBS Chicago?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Chicago's Sunny Side Up makes the sounds of bluegrass their own. This band can change the way you think about bluegrass. Aficionados and newbies alike love Sunny Side's Up approach to the beloved style of bluegrass.
What is bluegrass?
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to look it up now. This has become an educational thing now. Bluegrass.
Bluegrass music.
Bluegrass music. Because the kind of what's the word? The idea I'm getting sounds kind of like, what's that band called? I believe
It's got,
they're English, and I used to like to listen to them about a year ago. One of the music videos is them all on mopeds going through.
Mumford
Mumford and Sons.
Mumford and Sons.
I
Right,
wonder
there
if
you
it's like Mumford and Sons.
It's Chicago is Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, it might be.
So-
That's the kind of impression I'm getting because.
Also, I could kind of, I almost already said it when I saw it.
It's country English folk.
Right, there you go.
Then. Oh, we could be right, we could be wrong.
Also, I nearly actually made the comment of it when I first saw the website, but I've just scrolled down to the bottom, and it has been confirmed.
Yeah.
SunnySideUpMusic.com, powered by Squarespace.
We should get a sponsorship of Rome. But is there like, do you have like a certain like cap on like views and stuff like that?
If they reach out to you, then I mean they're not going to reach out to us, obviously.
I hope they do. I really hope they do.
But right, okay. Well, this the band name that I'm going to use. I suppose googling them could be a good idea because one day you might actually get a actual band.
Yes.
This week's one. Somersaults in the Bath. Somersaults in the Bath.
Somersaults. Do you mean as in like somersaults, as in like
flips?
Not as in like summer like salts, like that you might put in a. It's like the name of like a bath bomb is somersaults.
No.
Somersaults in the
Somersaults in the Bath. I think these are some of the ones that we came up with in Prague.
They might have been. I can't remember. Prague was a while ago.
Because I feel like it was some sort of. I can't remember where it came from, but I think these were definitely the sort of things that we came up with in Prague. But so what?
Somersaults
in the Bath.
You see, if it was somersaults,
What, like summer and then salts like
no, like as in like it's just the name of a bath, like a bath bomb.
Right.
I was thinking this would kind of be.
I mean, maybe that could be their logo.
Could be. I'm trying to think of that. Who's the singer who did? Oh, girls just wanna have fun.
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper S band. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Okay.
From like, what was she? The
She was 80s.
80s. Kind of. I was thinking
Very
if it was somersaults
Somersaults in the bolt. Somersaults in the bolts.
Somersaults in the bath. Then I'll say it's like Cyndi Lauper. But if you're talking about somersaults flipping in the bath, I absolutely have no idea.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sometimes that happens.
It's why I was banking on somersaults.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, now that's out of the way. So I think should we just move on to any stories that we've had in the week? This is the first bit of the podcast we do. We call it beating around the bush, which includes these other mini segments because it's an all-encompassing. It's like a big hug of a segment. I'd say
big hug of life.
A big hug of life.
Big hug, and today
I think we all want a big hug of life in many ways.
I haven't really got much to talk about college because college has been pretty mundane.
Yeah, I think you said before we came here that college has been dull.
The way I'm going to say it is the way I'm going to kind of sum this up. My kind of feeling was at college at the moment. For those who don't know, I'm currently doing a art foundation after doing previously 2 years of an art further. It's got a really convoluted name. What was it? It was like level 3 art and design extended diploma.
That's a mouthful.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Which is not good because there's probably a lot of paint in it. And
I did art
not good
BTEC,
for you.
which is like an A level, only it's a bit more free.
Right.
A little bit more, less writing, more kind of doing what you want rather than a kind of structured. This is what art. It's more you make art is what you
do
make.
it your way. It's
yes,
the
exactly.
Burger King of art courses.
Foundation has kind of gone almost 360 with this idea.
Right. Okay.
Where it's got to the, or maybe 180. I don't know. It's gone to the
It'll
point
be 180.
where it's got an idea where it's art is anything, but it can't be too literal.
It's art is anything that we say it is.
Art is anything that, unless it's too literal, right?
Hang on, what do you define by too literal?
Okay, so
That's painting.
the way
Too
the way I look in these kind of the reverse of an art A level. Art A level says kind of like the kind of things like art, like portraits and landscapes, and kind of more conventional forms of art. That's art.
Yes.
Right. This is kind of saying that isn't art.
Right.
Everything else is.
Everything you learnt is a lie.
Everything you thought that was art. But so, for example, I'm trying to just do something about architecture, right?
As
Something
you would.
all based around perspective, because I love that kind of thing.
Because it gives lots of maths.
I created a formula for how one can draw any object from any direction, as it were. You just sort of have to imagine where you are in the three-dimensional space, and you can draw it onto a piece of paper as if it was right in front of you, right? Perfect perspective drawing. It works out a mathematical formula for it. But they have a problem with that. They don't like that. They find it's too lit. They say, you know, oh, where's experimentation? Where's experimenting with materials and stuff like? That's not the point. I'm not trying to experiment with material. I'm trying to experiment with these ideas.
Yeah, you're making a drawing. You're not making a collage.
I'm not, or a paint. I'm not trying to say anything deep or anything like that. They want deeper meanings to your work, like emotions. That's my art's never really been about that. It rarely has been, or when it has been, I've kind of just felt like, why am I doing this? Like,
What
I don't
you could do,
connect to my work anymore.
it is an idea.
Yeah.
You could draw an image of a CD of like a song in a three-dimensional space, and when they ask what's the deeper meaning, give the deeper meanings of the song. You don't even have to write it.
That's
It's just
pretty
somebody
funny.
else's.
I could tell you what. I could if I really got pissed off with the teacher, I could just say, here's a perspective picture of me putting up my middle finger. The perfect, foreshortened picture of me putting my middle finger in front of my hand. I'm not the best at drawing. I reckon I could spend, if I spent like a day or two, I could do a pretty good drawing of a hand in my face.
No, what you do is you draw just a room, and just really far in the background there is a middle finger. So when they ask what's the deeper meaning, well, if you look deeper into the image,
You look deep into the
closely,
perspective.
there it is.
just before the horizon line, there's my middle finger
Yeah.
of disapproval. It's very difficult. I'm not clashing in an aggressive way with my teachers, but she's kind of got the sense that she feel like I have kind of also seized up, but it's not because I'm scared to do something, is that anything I want to do doesn't seem to be what they want to see.
Right.
They want
That's
to
a
see
bad
things like in the
situation.
And here's the thing: there are two art rooms. There's a messy room and the clean room. There's a dirty studio, clean
Right.
studio. Clean studio is for, as you can imagine, things that aren't messy, and the messy studio is for people who are doing big, brash, crazy, loud things. Right?
Right.
I'm not in that room. I'm in the
Right.
quiet room, in the clean room, and doing these precise things. And I go into that room, and it's just. I mean, I'm not saying I'm against the word, but people are kind of creating.
Oh, whoops. I just
sculptures.
whacked my phone against the
Whoops.
stool with the microphones on there. Apologies to those listening, because I imagine that probably wasn't pleasant.
I go into the room and I see like people making sculptures out of X pieces of furniture that people have picked up, from the side of the streets or in skips, and that's fine. It's totally fine. It's getting repurposed, but it's just not what I want to do, and I don't relate to it at all. I mean, I don't know. They want to see things. They're basically saying anything can be art apart from the conventional.
Apart from you, Tim.
Apart from the conventional things that are always literal things. You can't do... Here's a literal drawing of, let's say, this very funky...
Blue Snowball microphone.
Blue Snowball microphone.
Please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us. It's I could draw that perfectly in perspective. And they'd be like, what does it mean?
It means it's a microphone.
It means it's a microphone.
Well, actually, to be fair, you could talk about... You could give it like some nice sharp colours and talk about hopefully, the joy that you have making podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just say, like...
Because the thing...
What does it mean? I mean, it doesn't mean anything itself. I'm just expressing my enjoyment for this understanding that I
would
have.
say if if I was to give you a tip on this, don't try and fold to what they want you to do and just draw something like a picture of an apple and it's about the state of the wasting of food or something. Just draw what you want and then think of the most bullshit deeper meaning that you can and see if you can get away with it. Because that's what I'd be doing.
Well, I actually have a reply to that.
Okay.
Which is last year, Final Major Project. They, when I was doing my previous course, Final Major Project, your work gets presented and it's like an open evening. They ask you to create a little write-up next to your piece of work about what's it about.
Right.
And mine wasn't about what the piece is saying. It was me describing what I'm doing in it.
It's just a big formula.
It was basically a formula. I wrote down the formula for how I made it, so somebody could use it if they wanted to. And that's just how I roll. Maybe I'm not necessarily a artist. Maybe I'm more of a.
Well, you want to go into architecture, but but that means you have to do art things. It's probably a thing that a lot of architects have to deal with. I'd imagine. Don't know exactly, but if you're an aspiring architect, then please do contact us at TunaBushPod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or TunaBushPodcast@gmail.com. Wink.
I just winked, but of course you're not going to hear that.
Yes, that's why I said wink.
Wink.
Right.
You got life stories?
Oh boy, do I have a good story.
Good. Let's hear it.
Now, it was on the time of recording this. This happened yesterday, so it would have been, if I just get the calendar up, it would have been Saturday the 9th of February. Mm-hmm. And I went to go and see Hastings United play a football match, which is not too unusual.
No, you got a season ticket, right?
I do. This is an away match, though. So.
Oh yeah, it doesn't apply.
So, and normally when you go to a away match, not much happens. I mean, I could talk about. Weirdly, there was two away games this week, and the first away game away at Horsham. Mm-hmm. Although we didn't go to Horsham because they've had issues with their grounds, they had to go to Lancing, and well, I got held up by Southern Trains, and I arrive at 7:43. I think I'll kick off in 2 minutes. Then I end up going the wrong way from the stadium. I end up essentially accidentally going around the back. And I'm thinking, and then because obviously there's nowhere to get in, I had to go all the way back round. Mm-hmm. Go in, and then start watching the game. It's raining, it's cold, and then somebody says, "Oh yeah, I've got 10 minutes left." I'm like, wait, 10 minutes left? I thought it'd be like about 25. So, oh no, it's a 7:30 kickoff. I thought, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I thought the first half felt a bit short, but yeah. So and then Hastings were winning, and then conceded a last-minute equaliser.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I knew that there was a train coming at the station in 2 minutes. When it was about, if you're running, about 2 minutes run away.
Yeah.
So I clapped the players off, and then I dashed, quick as I could, through the station, get pretty sure with the ticket to get out of my wallet.
Yep.
And I just missed the train. It's at the point where you've got to the train, you're pressing the button, but the conductor's just said no.
And all the lights gone off, the light of the door's just gone off.
Yeah, it's just not going, and then I had to wait for 20 minutes in the pouring rain, and I also desperately needed a piss.
Man.
Which also, I really needed a piss.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, that's not bad. I'll wait 10, 15 minutes, however long, 20 minutes.
The next train,
on there.
Didn't have a toilet, did it?
No, it didn't.
Wow, amazing.
So it's 3 coaches, but they just didn't have toilets on them. So then that took me to Brighton Station. So at first I thought, oh yeah, there's toilets at Brighton Station. But then I realised they're behind the barriers. So if I put my ticket in, it would swallow it up.
Oh shit! What was it ticket for? Brighton, right?
It was going back to Hastings.
Oh no, it wouldn't swallow it up.
Wouldn't it?
No.
Oh right.
No, it wouldn't. I don't think it wouldn't. It would either not accept it, which.
Well, if it didn't accept it, then I wouldn't be able to go through the barriers.
Well, I think no. What have I think it does accept it because it's on the way. That's
right,
what I tend to find. That if it's on the way, it'll be accepted.
Right. Okay. I'll learn in the future.
Or at least just speak to the people from the barriers. Just say, can I just quickly go through, use the toilet and come back out?
Yeah, I probably should have done that, but I didn't. But so I'll learn that in future. But another reason why I didn't is because there was a train going. Because I think the route I had to go because after a certain point, the direct trains from Brighton to at Hastings basically stop.
Yeah.
So I had to go to Lewis, and then from Lewis to Hastings.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, okay, I'll go on the toilets on the Lewis train.
No, so I wasn't.
It wasn't on those ones either.
Wow.
And by this point, that was not a pleasant journey. It's not a particularly long journey on the train from Brighton to Lewis, but oh boy,
Let
I
me
did not
guess,
enjoy
did you
it.
feel every single bump along that
Yes.
journey? Every single
one. And eventually you went to the toilets in Lewis Station. But that's not the story. The story is when is on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We went away to Whitstable to play Whitstable Town.
Yeah.
And I think the story of what happened in this game can very much be summed up by an old football adage of it being a game of two halves.
Mm-hmm.
But this is both. But for us, it was both on and off the pitch.
Right.
In this case, so we get there. I should note it was very windy and very cold.
Was this the same day you're talking about, by the way? The one where you...
No, this was a different day. The Horsham one, that was on Tuesday.
Oh,
this was,
shit.
And the game I'm talking about happened on Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
Yes. So...
Was this here?
No, it was away at Whitstable.
This one was away as well?
Yes.
You had 2 away games on the trot?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that one I got on the coach, though, to get there. So I had to go on the train. So first half, we go over to the end, which we are shooting at, and the Whitstable fans, the particularly loud Whitstable fans, they just have a stand where they stay the whole game. So we're basically both sets of fans are in the same stand.
Uh-oh.
Well, you'd think and although there was admittedly a little bit of a thing where at one point where somebody made a chant calling Whitstable a not very nice place. And we said, and they said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And we said, "Oh no, we don't mean it. It's just a bit of just bants." Yeah, but overall, first half was very enjoyable. Because great atmosphere in the stand we were in. We were kind of dueling chants in a really good way. There was a lot of good jokes going on. Also, one good thing about those fans is that Whitstable are one of their team's nicknames are the Oyster Boys. And now, if you're aware of an oyster, when you eat an oyster,
yeah.
It's in the shell and you swallow it whole.
Yeah.
And oh boy, did the Whitstable fans double up on the swallow, double entendres. And I think one of the chants goes, we swallow, and that's the way we like it. Also, there was a moment where, because there's a couple of sort of slightly younger than us sort of fans going there, they said, and some of the Whitstable fans said, we probably should just explain this to the young uns quickly. And I turn around, I know this, and I suddenly feel really clever and high class. And it was a good thing. Hastings score in that half. Good goal as well. It was Luke over keeper. 1-0 up. Yeah. Half time comes. Alright, okay. Whitstable hadn't done anything, the team themselves, unfortunately. Although in the second half, we discovered why.
Why?
Because the end they were shooting at has considerably less cover than the one that we were in the first half. So any ball you try and play would basically be taken by the wind.
Oh, jeez, right, okay, yeah.
Now, this led to a couple of things. One, we found it very difficult to play. Second, we weren't concentrating and we conceded a goal. Which, annoyingly, at first the linesman flagged offside and then the referee came over, basically said no, and then gave the goal. Which technically he's not supposed to do, but we won't go into that. But the third consequence is that with the wind taking the ball, it would often lead to some players misjudging tackles.
Oh, right.
Which turned the game into a bit of a naughty affair.
Just people slide tackling each other for the sake of slide.
Well, not really slide tackling, but often you try and go for the ball, and then suddenly the ball wouldn't be there, and the only thing that's there is the other player's face. And yeah, so tempers were going up on the pitch.
Yeah.
And also, because we conceded a goal and weren't really doing anything, the attitude from our fans was not the best either.
No.
We weren't very pleased. And at one point, actually, somebody comes over the intercom on the Whitstable and essentially tells the Hastings fans to stop swearing. Which, I mean, I could rant about that because I feel like it's not the biggest problem in football, because genuinely, if you have ever gone to a football match and you haven't heard one swear word, then please do write in, because I refuse to believe that exists.
There's something wrong with the atmosphere if nobody's swearing.
Yeah, basically, if not in if not in the stands, then the players.
Yes.
Because, in fact, actually, the Whitstable manager was... I think I described it to my dad when I came home. He was effing and blinding like a docker who's been kicked in the balls. So, now, it would later turn out that this little complaint about the swearing... Oh, that was by no means the worst thing that would happen.
Was there a full punch-up?
Well,
big
there was... Basically, the whole situation starts with a very, very bad tackle from one of the Whitstable players. He goes in, properly two-footed sliding challenge, and then you actively see him essentially swearing at the guy who he's just potentially injured on the floor, which kicked off on the...
Did he get a red card for that?
He didn't.
What did he get? Nothing?
He got a yellow card.
Wow.
Although in the ensuing sort of everybody coming over, one player from each side did, which A, is a bit double standards. B, we couldn't understand why our player had been sent off, and neither could any of the Hastings players. Mm-hmm. And C, a lot of people were thinking that the ref had actually sent the wrong player off.
Right.
That he sent off our number 3 where he meant to send off our number 5. Mm-hmm. So, and it's important to note that the tempers were all on the pitch here. Basically, all of the players were not best pleased. So, full-time whistle goes. And when one of our players...
What was the score, by the way?
It was 1-1.
1-1.
Which is annoying for Hastings because we haven't... In the last potential 9 points, we've collected 2. Which is not good.
So your last 3 games, you collected 2 points?
Yes, well, we could have got 9. But... no, basically, one of our players walks over to the tunnel to go in, and clearly one of the Whitstable fans says something to him.
Yeah.
He's not best pleased. Jumps over the barrier.
Yes.
Gets in his face.
Ooh.
And normally, on a normal day, that would be the big like, oh Jesus, what the fuck's he doing? That's awful. But oh no, I didn't actually see that first. Because what happened where I was?
What happened?
What happened was the game finishes.
Yeah.
We're all a bit frustrated. Yeah. I imagine something must have been said, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear anything. And before I know it, the Whitstable keeper is at the barrier and full on takes a swing at one of our fans.
Wow.
Catches him like side of the head. Because he tries to get out of the way. On the follow through, he actually catches like a little a kid who's watching on the top of the head.
It's a kid.
He hits a kid.
Oh my god!
And I mean naturally,
he hits a kid.
Yes, and naturally we are fucking furious.
Does he get clattered?
What, the keeper?
Yeah.
No, he scarpers quickly.
Oh yeah.
So and from that point, basically all of the Hastings fans are trying as much, including me. We're basically trying to tell everybody who would listen that, mate, your goalkeeper just punched one of us. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the sweary manager for Whitstable was trying to poke his head in and basically tell us that nothing happened, which was the biggest load of bullshit I have ever heard. Mm-hmm. The Whitstable fans, who I may as well add have been drinking heavily, and something we noticed when we were over there, smoking a bit of
doobie,
bit of doobie, were basically probably not realising what had happened, were trying to defend their own team as well. Mm-hmm. Tensions are very high. The dad of the guy whose kid got hit is calling the police. Mm-hmm. Then eventually we try and calm it down, but because all of the Whitstable fans have been drinking and smoking, they end up turning on each other. Genuinely, it was like the last days of fucking Rome in there. The guy who the keeper went for, I wouldn't exactly call him an intellectual type.
No.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he said something dodgy to the keeper. Mm-hmm. So, but I didn't hear anything, as I said. But he was basically trying again. He was very keen on making the point that, mate, I just got punched here. Mm-hmm. Like that shouldn't be happening at a football game. Mm-hmm. And he was saying something, and I think I kind of agreed with the sentiment. He was basically going, "Is football worth this? Is it worth one of your because we actually noticed all of the issues that the Hastings fans had." Mm-hmm. weren't with the Whitstable fans.
No.
They were with the players.
With the principal players, yeah.
And it just... I felt like...
What do you reckon is going to happen? What are the repercussions? Have you heard anything?
We haven't heard anything just yet. It would not surprise me if... Well, hopefully, the Whitstable keeper should get banned for at least a month of football, if not more. Probably more. And given that now literally the police are involved, in fact the coach left the moment that the police car rolled in to go and interview the guy. Because also it should be stated that the Whitstable keeper left the ground quite sharpish.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen now, and there is a lot of kind of getting in people's face from the Whitstable fans to other Whitstable fans, basically. And I don't know. I also, because I don't know what happened with our player. I feel like the repercussions will hopefully not be as much because he didn't actually get, but it probably will be a ban for him. But the one thing that I'm worried about here is that they're probably going to sanction the clubs.
Yeah.
In regards of fan behaviour.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, and admittedly, I am saying this as a Hastings fan, I might be slightly biased, but from what I could see, we weren't exactly getting in the faces of each other and trying to fight people. But it just annoys me that something like this can happen, and most of the pretty much, I would say, if there's a pie chart of what happened, I would say it was about 40% the players, 40% the Whitstable fans, and probably 20 a couple of things with us. But even that's being polite. But it just annoys me that something like this can happen. And
do they have a history of it?
What, Whitstable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then there's no surprise, and it'll be the recast.
The last time we played them was, I think it was 2015.
Mm-hmm.
We got a winner last minute, and full time whistle goes. One of the Whitstable fans jumps the barriers, tries to go at the guy who scored. And given the guy who scored, who I will back then, he isn't at the club anymore, but he's very well known at the club, Shaun, who is a proper unit. If he had have gone for him, he would have had him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Yes. And I might as well add, when this was happening back then, the steward, who probably should be there, was just bumbling along collecting the corner flags. But anyway, before I get any more annoyed about this situation, I think we should probably move on to our next segment.
I think yes, although I would want to say about two things very briefly in my life, very quickly.
Okay.
Nowhere near as dramatic.
Right. Well,
one is...
it's a slow kind of descent into the next segment, so we don't get to...
Yeah, it's kind of lower down the not tension, but like kind of the hyped emotions. One is that I bought a record for the first time, my first ever record full stop of any kind of full music, not even CD. I've never even bought a CD. I've bought one thing like as an MP3, but I bought a record, an old vinyl, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And unfortunately it doesn't work because Dad's record player is just awful. So I'm thinking about buying myself a nice record player.
Which would be nice.
After
the kind of Magnolia retro aesthetic in this room.
It would probably be wooden, so it would be like the pine shelves I've got. It would be pine, magnolia.
Pine and Magnolia. Pine and Magnolia, what an iconic duo.
And what else going on? Yes, I've modified Monopoly to hopefully stop the monopoly on the oranges. Yeah,
we played. Between the last podcast, we played 2 games of Monopoly, and both times our friend Kieran, who we referred to earlier as Rich Uncle Pennybags, both times he managed to get hold of the orange set.
Not by lack of us trying.
Yeah,
he got 2 of them, and you got the other one.
And then I traded and didn't realise how much of a bad move that was, And both times he's won quite considerably.
Because, and I looked this up...
This is Monopoly City, by the way.
I think it still runs with the normal Monopoly.
Probably.
And the reason why is to do with how prison sends... the go to jail sends you to jail, obviously, which then puts you into just visiting when you leave. and you have a 35% chance of landing on an orange immediately after you leave jail,
Yeah.
which is quite high. And so I've developed
Basically a second just visiting.
or maybe another three
Or
just
three.
visiting called parole, which would
Is
go
it
on
on
the
the other corners?
which go on the other corners and only can be landed on
Once
when
you-
you leave
You'd
prison.
roll for which one you get.
Yeah,
We'll try it out,
we'll try it out,
and when we find out what the results is like, we will let you know.
and that's it. That's all life is.
That's it.
That's
That
it,
is
man.
all life is. So
Yeah.
next segment.
Next segment.
One in the hand. This is the best jingle we could come up with. Go ahead and try to make a better one.
One in the hand.
It is now one in the hand.
When you can't think of a subtle way of introing, just say the name of the segment.
It is indeed. It works. It gets.
It does.
straight
It
to
does
the point.
get to the point.
Oh.
Now, for those both of you new listeners, and both of you old listeners, what we do in One in the Hand is we essentially do a top trump set, but for life.
Life.
So we take various things and we give them a certain grade on certain categories. Which, if you're wondering, how can you categorise everything? Because it is everything.
It is everything.
Like
Life.
fictional, non-fictional, concepts, brands, anything. We have a very precise rating system, which is I came up with it. I had to boast, but I did.
Yes, you did.
So we go for speed,
Speed's a good one.
intelligence, and it was at this point I was struggling to think of other ones, so I went to what I know. So the other ones are style, control, damage, and aggression.
Sorry, I am just quickly checking I've got the name of the thing I'm going for correct.
Okay. Now, normally, we kind of rein ourselves in a little bit for who to get put in with a certain theme, often based off something that's happened in popular culture in the time between recording episodes.
Yes, normally.
Normally. But we decided that every 5 episodes, every episode ending in a 5 and a 0 from now on,
Yes,
it's going to be a wild card.
it is
We can
indeed.
do whatever we fancy. And Tim is currently...
Just
I mean,
checking
I'm intrigued by this because it seems like Tim's having to check the spelling.
No, I've got it. I've got it now.
Okay, right. You were slightly worried that you thought we might have done it before, but I'll tell you if we have.
Yeah.
So, okay, Tim, who are you going to go for?
Hugging Elmo.
Hugging Elmo. We have not done Elmo.
This is the robotic one that hugs.
Yes,
And,
specifically
and,
the.
and also tumbles and rolls and that one.
Yes.
The really creepy robotic one that almost every child has had.
You do currently have an Elmo. I bought you one for
You
Christmas.
did.
It wasn't a huggy one though.
No.
I probably should have got a huggy one.
That's alright.
Now we have.
No, if it had been one of those, yes, he would have been obliterated.
Right. Okay. So you're only going to kill a huggy one.
Well, the robot one, just because it's satisfying watching their skin peel away in the front of a jet engine.
Right. I mean, I can't buy you a jet engine.
Watch that video online, Elmo versus jet engine. Much advised.
Yes.
So,
Now I know why you're confused because you were getting mixed up with Kermit the Frog, who we have done. And for those, for the new people, other names in our database
yes,
include both of us, Soul Band, Earth, Wind and Fire, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Pringles,
yep. Pringles.
Cones.
Was Pringles a new one? How when did we do Pringles? How long
That was we just got you just had to do crisps.
Oh yeah.
Cones and Prince Philip.
Talking of Chris, very quickly. Yesterday we tried because we missed it out on the last Feed the Roots. We actually found French fries, cheese and onion. It wouldn't have beaten them. I'm sorry. I personally.
That is referencing something that hasn't been released yet.
Shit. Sorry.
We're keeping it in though.
Ignore that.
I'm keeping it in.
So.
Unless you're very specific with what one, so don't say that.
I think, by the way, it's actually called Hugs Elmo. I think it's called Hugs Elmo.
I'm going to call it Hugging Elmo.
Just call it Hugging Elmo.
Hugging Elmo.
So,
I'm going to come up with something on the fly.
did you not have one? I thought you already had one in advance.
No, I try and play off what happens.
Sure.
So Hugging Elmo. So let's go for speed.
Speed. Well, he's a robot.
He's a robot.
He ain't quick.
No.
He's very slow.
He's Auton level of speed.
It's even slower than that.
Yeah.
Because Alton's at least got some bit more dexterity. Actually, he's probably got... I think Elmo's actually got a little bit more... That's some more agility. Okay, but speed, he ain't quick.
He ain't going to win many running races.
I don't think he can even run. He can hug and roll over.
Cartwheel.
He can't even cartwheel. If he could cartwheel, that would be impressive.
I was going to say it's just like most dogs, but dogs
Really
can't
need like a
cartwheel.
gyroscope to do that. But no, so speed,
It could be low. Are you thinking single digits?
yes.
I'm thinking a 6.
I was thinking a 7.
Okay, we'll go for 7.
7?
Okay, intelligence. Now, he is a robot, so he will eventually become our overlord when the AI takes over.
Oh.
But we haven't got that yet.
So there are two types of intelligence: artificial intelligence and virtual intelligence.
Yes.
Artificial is like kind of it learns itself, and there's VR, which is kind of just programmed, just spurts out shit.
Yes.
He's definitely the latter.
Right, okay. He spurts out hugs.
He just spurts out hugs,
He knows how to hug.
giggles,
He knows how to roll.
and he knows how to fall over.
He does.
Doesn't
But
know...
to be fair, though, I'd say humans don't know how to fall over. We just do.
Okay, Elmo doesn't program himself to fall over.
Oh, okay, right. So I thought
It's like, I don't know. Me shooting myself in the head equals death. Doesn't mean I know how to... I guess that's how I know how to kill myself. But I don't know how best to describe it. Me falling over or like relaxing my legs to fall over, it's kind of more of a cause and effect.
Okay, right.
He's not actively making himself... I'm going to go fall over. It's more... I relax legs now. At this moment, my motors decide to relax the legs or whatever. And the hugging... His hug's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. I don't know why.
So he's not even a good hugger.
He's terrible at hugging. It's awful. Because it's designed for one body type that nobody will ever fit to. It's very weird. So, hugging Elmo. What are we going for? Sorry, this is
intelligence.
All right, intelligence. It's got to be. I think it's like he's got no intelligence. He can't think for himself.
Are you saying none?
0. He can't think for himself.
I'm going to say 1 because they've got coding.
Okay, 1. Sure.
Right, okay.
But his code, but then at that point, you could argue his coding is just from the person who made him or the computer that made him.
Yeah. And this one's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Style.
No.
No. Well, he's got a block colour and he sticks with it. He's
like Dennis the Menace, where it's just a style that he's known for.
Yes. It's like Marge Simpson when she opens the wardrobe, all got green dresses.
What's Kermit's thing? He has like that kind of crown thing around on his kind of round his neck. What's that about? What is that? Is that his shirt?
I don't know.
It's like a jester's outfit.
It looks like... I think we discussed this, I think, when we talked about Kermit the Frog. It looks like the little, Tudor thing that you had going around the neck.
Oh, what are they called? Cravats? No, that was No, what are they called? I know the things we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of them.
But we never figured out what that is.
Kermit's naked, right?
I'd assume so.
Kermit is naked. So...
I'm just going to see what we gave Kermit for style. We gave him 4.
Why? Why did I give him only 4?
No, because he's naked. Oh, whoops! It's not the microphone again.
We gave him 4 because he's naked. Right.
Well, in which case, I suppose
but Elmo
Elmo
isn't an animal. What is Elmo? What is Elmo? What is he?
I'm gonna go and get the toy for medical examination.
Like, Kermit's clearly meant to be is like a very. What is an Elmo? What is he?
What are you?
What is an Elmo?
I'm
your worst nightmares.
I'm the reckoning. I'm the last face you'll see before your untimely demise.
Oh, for God's sake! Right.
I still can't figure out what he's meant to be.
Right.
Maybe a bear. Maybe a bear.
Does he wear his fur?
No.
What is he? Yeah.
This is just existential Elmo. What is he?
Do we have to give him 4 as well? No.
No, but I think we gave the 4 because Kermit's got a little crown thing. So I think we have to give him less.
He hasn't got anything. Go for it.
But he's got a nose.
Oh right! Wow! What a fashion piece.
fair, Kermit doesn't have a nose.
Do you want to smell and look great? Have a nose.
Well, it doesn't make you smell great. It means you smell other people. Doesn't mean you smell great.
No, it doesn't. Well, no, it does. You smell...
I doubt Elmo's wearing cologne. If he is, his score's going up.
Right.
Give him a whiff. See if he's wearing cologne.
Nope.
No cologne to be found.
Right, let's find out. Let's find out what he's made of. Oh god, he's apparently Spanish.
Oh, hello.
Oh shit! It's got an official label on it. So this is a real thing.
Well, I'll be honest. I wouldn't buy you a bootleg Elmo.
No, you wouldn't. It was made in China. He's hand washable.
Good.
Doesn't say anything about him. Right. I'm gonna say. I don't know because he's such an iconic figure. But is that him wearing clothes?
I feel like we have to go for 3.
3.
Because he looks alright, but he is naked.
He is, assuming we...
I can already tell this is not going to be a good card.
What are you, man?
Because the next one's Control. He falls over.
And he hugs awful. Bloody hell. Elmo, you're lame.
I feel like I should go for something really strong now as a consequence.
You know what? His proportions are much like Garfield's. Where Garfield had a really plump middle body, a big head, surprisingly long legs. I'll see if I can get him to look like the Garfield pose. Hang on, never mind.
Well, I mean, you probably can't because he's not a cat.
But
I can tell you that Elmo is not a cat.
there you go.
Sorry, I've got to take a picture of this. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna get the microphone and the thing in it because this is going on the Two in the Bush Twitter account.
Let's see if I can get him to stay like that.
I doubt you can.
Hang on.
There
we go.
And
there you
go. There you go. I accidentally took 2 pictures there, but never mind.
It's like Garfield, you pose him like that. Sorry, what were we looking at again?
Control.
Oh, none. He's a ragdoll.
There's the picture, by the way.
I just loved it. He's a ragdoll, right? He's 1. He's got no control. He's got no control.
Well, might as well go for 0 then.
No, 1. Oh, he's got no control, yeah. 0.
0, okay.
No, 1, because at least he's holding himself together.
Okay, true.
He's got some structural integrity.
Okay, what about damage?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Damaging childhood when
Jesus, what sort of hugs is he giving?
Special hugs.
Oh dear.
1.
Well, we go for 1 again.
1. There's nothing.
Well, maybe he's got a bit of a tight grip. He could strangle a particularly weak person.
His hug is the weakest hug.
I didn't have a huggy Elmo, if you couldn't tell.
I didn't. No, I did. No, did I? A friend of mine did. Wasn't No, he's got no strength.
No strength.
Oh no, he does hurt if you smack him. You smack someone with it.
Is that damage though? Is the damage for okay? Okay, Tim. Let me put it to you this way: if you just had a sword,
yeah,
a sword
in itself
in someone's hand will hurt a lot. But if you're just fighting a sword by itself,
that's not going to do anything.
No,
I'm going to say 1.
Okay, actually, I'll go for 2.
2,
given the hitting thing.
Sure.
Now this one could be aggression. Now I know you're probably going to say, oh, he's just that friendly little guy who's
no, I'm
doing
not.
hugs.
No, I was thinking...
I think he's got a lot of pent up in there. I mean, look at him, he's bright red. Look how angry he is.
He's dealt with many people in his life.
I think if Elmo would be the one person who I wouldn't trust with the nuclear codes. I assume in the actually if he's in the Cold War, I imagine it'd be Soviet, given the colour scheme.
Soviet Elmo.
Yeah, should we? How much money would I have to pay for you to stitch a hammer and sickle onto your Elmo?
No, not happening.
Okay,
but
oddly enough, I am wearing a parody of that.
There's true.
Hammer and pickle.
Is there?
Some oversimplified.
Like Elmo unhinged.
Elmo...
Well, I have seen the videos where somebody kind of gives him a knife and creates like a persona of him just being a fucking psychopath. That was pretty funny.
Well, I think aggression's going to have to be his biggest thing. But how aggressive What do we give the score though? Because
He said he's less aggressive than Kermit. Have you seen when he...
what's Kermit's aggression?
What was Kermit's aggression?
I'm gonna go and find it.
It's got to be less than Kermit. Kermit's very...
Kermit had 16 aggression.
He can be very passive aggressive. I love him.
What, Kermit?
Yeah, he's very passive.
What, so you're saying less than Kermit?
Yeah.
Can you go for 12?
12.
You're like,
Woohoo! Man, this is the best card in the game.
okay, and also something I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Each of them have a special skill, and I can already tell you the special skill is this is going to be awkward hugs.
Awkward hugs. Really awkward hugs. You don't learn... If you're buying a hugging Elmo...
He's weirdly cold. He can't grab you properly.
No, if you are buying a hugging Elmo or hug Elmo to teach your child how to hug, you're doing it bloody wrong. You hug your child even if you have terrible hugs, right? You think you're a terrible hugger. You're better than Elmo. You're better than a laughing, creepy Elmo who clings onto your child's body like a leech. Believe me, it's uncomfortable looking at. It's uncomfortable.
Like a leech. Can my one be a leech?
Look.
I want my one to be a leech.
I'll show you. Here we go, look. I'll show you images of it. This is like this. I assume these are used for advertising, right? Look. Let's find it. Here we go. He's a leech. Look at him. He's the burden this child is having to bear. There's no enjoyment here.
I want my pick to be a leech.
Look at that one. That just looks terrifying. Look at him. What happened to him?
I want my pick to be a leech.
Be a leech.
A leech.
Do it.
Just a leech. Simply, it's going to make no sense when I'm looking back at this and I haven't got this context on the thing. Now, why do we do get Elmo and a leech? But we're going to go for it.
Let's hear it.
Right, a leech. Speed.
They are not quick.
No, they're not.
In fact,
Is he quicker? Is a leech
Their
quicker than
thing is
Elmo?
for people bump into them.
Right, so I think that has to be very low then.
Very low. They don't...
A 4?
4.
I'm thinking 4.
Why, is it faster than Elmo?
No.
Okay.
Elmo got a 7.
Okay.
Intelligence.
Now, here's the thing. They can, detect heat.
Yes, they can.
Like mosquitoes can.
I feel like, given that Elmo's intelligence was 1, I feel like we have to go higher than 1.
Oh, it has to be higher than 1.
I think, given its basic intelligence, for comparison,
Yeah.
the very hungry caterpillar also has a 1 intelligence.
Oh, because he just eats.
Yeah.
Does he recognise food? They don't really. Do
Not really, no.
We'll go for a 5.
5?
5
Okay, I think
intelligence. Because
that makes sense.
It's more like it doesn't actively go things. It's more like it's inherited it. It's just inherited the ability to see heat.
Yes.
Sees heat.
Now, I think next one, this is going to be good,
detect heat.
because style. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, a leech, that's not very stylish. But this leech has been on the king's wound. A stylish king, a stylish wound.
Why is
That's
it
a stylish leech.
No, we're going for the average leech here. Don't just pimp him up with a kingship. He's the king's leech. No, he's a leech. The average bog standard leech. It's not wearing. It hasn't got like a suit it wears when it goes into the king's wound.
But what I would say, if with
Right,
with
in that
leeches,
theory,
good thing with a leech though is if he did go to like a formal party all black, he's got it dealt with.
If you're going to a what? Sorry,
Go to like a formal dinner. Is it all black? Black works with a lot of things.
Sure. It really.
Yes. Black works with all colours.
It's sinister. Sure. Okay. I'm going to say now. If Prince Charles ever became king, would you like to be the leech that works on his bunions?
Well, I wouldn't be a leech because I'm not a leech.
If you were the leech, would you consider yourself stylish if you were working on the?
Well, so why put a leech on bunions?
I don't know.
They're for wounds. They're for blood.
Bunions have blood in them.
Did I?
I think so. I don't know. Okay.
Well, anyway.
Regardless, would you want to be working on a cut on King Charles when he became king? Would you feel yourself as in, oh, I'm so privileged?
Well, if I was a leech, I wouldn't care.
No, you wouldn't actually. Wow. So in the absence. Sorry, no. Was it, not absence. What's the word? Something is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss.
Okay, so what are you going to give him?
Well,
Because they're all black.
I'm thinking
You're not going in double figures. You can't. It's a leech.
10.
That's double figures. 9.
We'll go for 9.
I'm not allowing double figures for a leech. Really?
Control.
They do control your blood flow.
They do.
They have their saliva stops clotting.
Yeah.
It's anti-clotting. That's controlled blood flow.
So that's got a bit of control. And obviously, I think they probably have a control in their own. I don't know if leeches live in families. They probably don't. But if they did,
I don't know how you. I think what you're meant to do with the leech, supposedly, although some can carry nasty diseases.
true.
I think that supposedly, if you do have a leech on you, you shouldn't rip it off.
Should let it have its fill.
Yes, and then go to the doctors, because if it's got you anyway, I think it's worse because the teeth could like take a chunk out of your skin,
Yeah.
or just the teeth could be left in there and they will still get infected. So best way is just to let it have its fill and then it'll drop off.
Unless it's a really big leech.
I wonder if I've ever had a leech on me. I've never known.
No, you
They don't hurt. They don't hurt apparently.
No.
They also numb you.
That's a lot of control. Then.
That's a lot of control. It's like mosquitoes in much respect. They do this very similar thing. As they were saying that, once I actually got bitten by a mosquito while I was awake, and I saw it on my arm, and I saw it put its needle in me.
Oh
I was
dear.
having none of it. I didn't kill it, but I just went. I was curious. I was curious to see what would happen.
You thought, oh, maybe he just wants to be friend. Ow.
Because I thought, because male ones don't have one. I couldn't see if it had one or not. It most certainly had a pringy thing, and I was like, it was. I think it was more. It didn't like hurt a lot. I think it was more the shock that I know
that you saw it.
It's like maybe that's where my fear of needles came from.
Maybe.
Anyway,
what we're learning here is a leech has a surprising amount of control.
a surprising amount of control.
I'm thinking double figures for control.
Double figures, yeah.
15? 15.
Yeah.
Okay, damage. Now, they carry diseases
Sometimes.
in a little bag.
Sometimes they even have
Any specifically? No, just
Even
disease.
Disease.
Is that basil?
Basil. It's got basil.
Sorry, that literally had no purpose other than just being there.
I think they also do have antibacterial things as well. I think it's I can't remember.
But if a leech is going for you, it's not going to use its antibacterial. And given it can give you many diseases, I think this could be another double figures.
Sure.
But I'm thinking.
I'll actually look it up. Let's look it up.
I'm thinking not too high though.
Can
leeches
do leeches
cause diseases?
cause disease?
It's like a really weird rhyme.
Yeah, do leeches cause disease? Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. So leeches normally carry parasites.
There's quite a lot of dead air.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Sorry. Leeches normally carry parasites in their digestive tracts, which cannot survive in humans and do not pose a threat.
Right.
However, although this is not really them, though, I feel. However, bacteria, viruses, and parasites from previous blood sources can survive within a leech for months. Nevertheless, only a few cases of leeches transmitting pathogens to humans have been reported.
Right.
So the odds of it are remote.
Okay, so I think it's low then. I mean,
Low,
although
sorry.
it does bite into you, I think that's more damage than Elmo.
It does even less damage than a bee sting. On average, it'll do less damage than a bee and a wasp.
But it's not. But it's more damage than Elmo.
Oh yeah, more damage than Elmo.
Although we're going back to Elmo. Could we not include psychological damage?
I don't think it's his fault. I think it's more the writers who create him.
True. Okay, so I'm thinking.
I think double figures.
You think double figures?
I'm actually okay with double figures.
I'm going to say 11.
11, sure.
And that aggression. Now, I think this is low. Because leech just be leech.
Leech be leeching.
Leech be leeching.
It's like slugs be slugging.
Yeah.
They don't...
Wait, I didn't know they played baseball.
Is that a thing in baseball?
I
Slugging?
think so, sluggers.
Baseball?
Something to do with baseball, because I remember they did a Mario baseball game and it's called Super Mario Sluggers.
Oh. Maybe it's like... Oh, slugging. Isn't that like a... Oh, that's slogging. That's more like when you do a big hit. Was it slogging or slugging?
I'm pretty sure it's slug. I can't. Hang on. You know what? I will.
Let's look it up. More dead air.
Googling live on air. Googling live on air.
I think.
Googling.
What do I think? I think therefore I am.
It's sluggers.
Sluggers. I assume that's a slugger. Is maybe a particular player on the team?
Maybe.
He does
maybe it's a nickname for the batter. Something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
We don't.
Well, with
baseball.
bats, bowlers in cricket, you've got like spin bowlers, fast bowlers.
Yeah, I suppose. Maybe
slugger.
Maybe it's someone.
Maybe a type of throw that's done in baseball. That's my
Maybe.
guess. That's entirely my guess. It's an educated guess.
Let us know.
Let us know. We could probably just look up online.
Probably could, but are we going to?
No.
No. But yeah. So anyway, leeches be leeching.
Leeches be leeching.
Stupid pun aside. I feel, and they just go about their business, and when they take their field, they just leave.
Why don't we give the hungry caterpillar? Because I feel like we should give it the same.
Hang on, let me find it. Very hungry caterpillar.
Because he wasn't aggressive.
Had one.
We'll give him one.
I think one. Yeah, one is probably.
They're very similar. We're comparing a caterpillar to a slug.
It's a leech.
A leech, sorry.
Right.
What did I say? Slug.
You said a slug.
They're sort of
You slug.
Now,
special.
Special ability.
This one's tough. Confusing for a slug?
The problem is. Wow, what's that special ability?
Control over blood.
Circulation.
Unclotting blood or something like that. Special saliva.
Unclotting. Wow, that'd be great for Sit It Bang, wouldn't they?
Are you suggesting that in Sit It Bang they collect the saliva of leeches?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Bang and the dirt is gone.
Bang and the clot is gone.
That's
it.
Bang and the
clot is gone.
I wonder if they're actually used to stop blood clots. I know they are used as a thing for some.
I feel like it might be.
I don't know if the NHS ever used them. I'm trying to think what they use them for. Oh, I think they do use it. No, that's not leeches. What's the one where it's like a fish that just eats flesh? It's like a fish that eats flesh. I can't remember what it's called, like dead flesh.
Piranha?
It's like a type of piranha. It doesn't hurt though. It just eats dead flesh. It just kind of tugs it and just nibbles on it.
Okay, I'm Googling live on air. Dead flesh.
I don't know if it's any good. I don't know why you do it over just
dead flesh.
surgery.
Dead flesh eating fish. Hang on, let's see.
What are they called?
Hang on. Okay, a fish pedicure is a beauty treatment that uses dozens of tiny fish to nibble away dead and hardened skin on the feet. During the session, a person immerses their feet in a tank of warm water and lets the minute toothless Gararoofa
Toothless?
Fish. It says toothless.
How do they eat it then? Just suck it off.
Jesus, what sort of spas have you been going to?
It's like, dude, these fish have got foot fetishes.
I just knocked the table again.
Right, okay.
I mean, I hope they don't suck it off. I was going to say force of will, but maybe next time we can do one for the Gararoofa fish.
No, thank you.
Special skill, sucking it off. Did I time that deliberately when Tim was taking a sip of drink?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to say we end here.
Yeah, I feel like we have reached the end of this segment.
That was the special one. Elmo and leeches.
Next I think we can't get to this next segment soon enough, quite frankly.
Next segment.
Tim.
Yes.
What's the name of this next segment?
I do believe it is called Almost Satire.
Yes. You got kind of tensed up there, like you almost forgot.
I did almost
I didn't forget, but it seemed like I did.
It's kind of like, it reminds me of the case where when so much information, when somebody asks you something or trying to remember something, your brain's showing so much information you just can't remember which one it is. It's like, it's just, I don't know. But hey, I remember now, it's Almost Satire.
It is.
The revised one. Not the original one.
No, not the. Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. This one is
Almost after I've gone through the most changes. In fact, on that segue, we're actually going to make a ever so slight adaptation to it now.
Yes.
Now, as you'll know, what I tend to do is I take 3 comedic news stories and I write them down, but make some alterations to the other one, so it is not real. It is fake news. And Tim
has to
try and guess what they are. And now, I think it was episode 30. It's either 34 or 33.
Mm-hmm.
You revealed the fake news game.
Yes, I did.
Which is basically a card game with fake news stories on it, and put it to me in the same sort of format.
Sure.
Now, what we've decided we're going to do is we will, instead of just me doing it every week, we will alternate. So I'm doing it this week, and Tim is going to do it next week. And Tim will probably end up using the fake news game, but he could do other stories.
I like the fake. I want to use the fake news game because it's got good stories in it.
It does.
They're both real.
But it does also make it a bit harder for me.
Does it?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Because they could have happened at any time.
Oh well, no, it's not like it's. I looked at the cars like the latest. The latest they go is like 2012. So or like 2013. So the oldest it gets is 7 years tops.
The oldest these stories gets is about 3 weeks.
Okay, but some stories stick in your head.
True.
But we'll see. We'll see how it plays. We'll see. What's the score at the moment, Shaun?
Well, I mean, we're going to have to start keeping score for my one.
Your tally.
Actually, because I can remember last time I didn't get it.
No.
On that one, so we'll count that one as canon.
Yeah, that is canon.
So I'll just put another thing.
So
down.
But what's my score?
Currently, out of the 8 times we've done this, you have got it correct 3 times.
So I'm ever so slightly better than guesswork.
Yes.
Marginally better than guesswork. Which is a shame. But, here we go. I've got to get better. I've just got to improve.
Indeed. But you have the opportunity to now.
Here we go.
So I'll smoothly transition into the first story.
Here we go.
Okay, goes like this.
Yep.
Construction experts working on the high-speed train line between London and Birmingham unearth a sinister pattern. By the way, I stumbled there because it turns out I forgot to write down Birmingham, but I know it's between London and Birmingham. The workers have kept discovering human remains.
Okay.
The team have said they're, quote, tripping over skeletons as the line goes north, despite the fact that the line does not cross any former graveyards or churches. The workers have found 8 skeletons so far, and after one was taken for analysis by archaeologists, it was revealed to be Captain Matthew Flinders, the first man to circumnavigate Australia.
I've heard this story.
Have you?
I heard it in the news.
Right.
Or at least this, unless if this is a fake news, I swear I've at least heard a variant of this story.
Okay.
So they found the skeleton of somebody while digging a train line. I don't know if it was the train line.
It's not the train line, because the train line is the website where you get ticket prices.
High Speed 2.
HS2.
What was HTS1? What was that one?
I believe that is Ashford to London or Canterbury to London.
Okay.
You've got Javelin trains. I think that's High Speed 1.
Okay. So I've heard this story, but I can't remember if it was to do with HS2. I don't remember them saying about. Oh no, they found a graveyard or just a grave, and it was of somebody's. But I don't know if it was unless you've. Damn, I'm not sure, but I'm confident that's a true story. I mean, if I get it wrong, I'm not sad because I was on the right track. But,
hey! I like that one.
I wish I could say I was deliberate, but it wasn't. No. I'm sorry. So is that?
You just lost your train of thought. Sorry, listeners. I carry on whacking my knee against the stool where the microphone is. I'm generally just going to move it because it's just.
Go for it. That's fine.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Are we ready for the
next one?
The next one.
Well, A Manchester City fan has spoken of his encounter with a Sky Sports reporter. Martin Warhurst from Wakefield had travelled to watch his team play bottom of the table and, at the time, managerless Huddersfield Town.
Mm-hmm.
The bookie's favourite to get said job was Jan Sievert, which he later got it. If you're wondering how he's German, and he was a coach at Borussia Dortmund who had never previously held a managerial role. It's spelled Siewert. Sievert.
Sorry, what was this about? Sorry, this is about bookie. You say? Sorry.
No, right. Okay, I'll repeat the story.
Sure.
Okay, Manchester City fan has spoken of his encounter with a Sky Sports reporter. Martin Warhurst from Wakefield had travelled to watch his team play bottom of the table and managerless Huddersfield.
Mm-hmm.
And the favourite to get the Huddersfield job was a man called Jan Siewert, a Borussia Dortmund coach and never held a managerial role.
Okay.
Martin, meanwhile, was sitting in his seat at, I think it was around 70 minutes, when all of a sudden a Sky reporter suddenly came up to him and asked, "Jan, are you going to be the new manager?" As it turns out, Martin had a striking resemblance to Jan Siewert, but had no relation whatsoever.
Right.
Leaving Martin amused and Sky Sports cameras red-faced. His response to the question was, "No, I'm Martin from Wakefield."
Wow. There's been a lot of football talk today.
What can I say? It's not a football podcast,
Damn.
but it's a fertile ground, the world of football.
Yes, indeed. So basically, was it just a guy?
Yeah, just the guy. Just
Went
a
to
fan.
watch his team play Huddersfield.
Yeah, and they thought that he was the Huddersfield manager.
Man City.
Yeah, he was a Man City fan.
We were talking about Man City earlier.
Well, that's because they're currently playing.
Oh my god, there's so much...
They're not currently playing Huddersfield, before you ask.
Okay. I don't want to say anything next story.
Okay. Last story.
Mm-hmm.
Prehistoric shark named after 80s video game. The shark, that lived in the Cretaceous period, was named Galagadon, since scientists noticed that the creature's teeth had a very close resemblance to the spaceship from the game Galaga.
I want to look up Gallagher, but the problem is I was just giving...
That would be cheating.
What does the ship look like?
But it's basically like a bit of a square, and it kind of goes in very quickly for the triangle, which is what its teeth look like.
A square then triangle.
Well, not square and triangle, but it's like straight edge,
Right.
edges, and then they basically go vroom.
Isn't that like what every other teeth is like?
But it
Sharp,
goes
sharp.
very thin. There.
Okay.
Okay. And those are the stories. Now, I know exactly what you're first going to say, which is why was the third story so short.
Yeah.
To be honest, I looked at the article, there wasn't really that much to go off of. Just started talking about other prehistoric sharks, and that's not really going to help.
No, it's so convenient.
I hope the mic actually picked up your little... that deep... It's too convenient.
It's too convenient. Okay, so the HS2 one,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure... Okay, well here's the thing. I've heard about a story of them digging up the body of somebody who they couldn't find the grave and they found it. I didn't realise they found loads of bodies along the journey, and I don't know if it was necessarily HS2. I heard the story, so I don't feel too guilty if I was wrong, because I know it, I just didn't know it enough.
Okay.
So I felt alright about losing. Yeah. I'm going to say it was real.
Okay.
But as I said, I don't feel too bad if I do lose. So just the other two. So you got the one where like a player just went, "I'm da-da-da from da-da-da."
A fan.
A fan, "I'm da-da-da from..."
I'm Martin from Wakefield, but you thought I was Jan from Dortmund, who was taking the job.
It was a Man City supporter
Yes.
in the Man City area.
No, he was in the Huddersfield area, but I think it was because he couldn't get away tickets. It is notoriously quite hard to get away tickets.
But I thought they don't put supporters in the same area. That was the thing that's pretty
No,
sure.
he wasn't with other City supporters. He was just there, basically surrounded by Huddersfield.
Yeah,
fans,
but I'm pretty
which
sure.
is why they thought he was a manager.
But I'm pretty sure they split them up deliberately, so you don't.
No, that's what. No, Tim. That's why you have away tickets. If you buy an away tickets, that's the section you're in. But that doesn't mean that a Man City fan or any fan can't buy a home ticket.
Why would you want?
Because the away tickets could have sold out. Because you only get a certain allocation. It isn't 50-50.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they split them up.
They do split them up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like otherwise, that's just an easy loop, and people could just get attacked.
No,
That's the reason why they split them
but-
up. It stops the fight. You just told me about a story about how these things are fought hard.
to be fair, those games aren't ticketed. That's just going wherever you want.
I know, but that's with the bigger games, the bigger clubs, and bigger rivalry.
I know, but basically, the sort of person who would have a reputation.
You're fighting hard, man. You're fighting hard. This story. You're fighting so hard to justify it.
It's because I can justify it.
I find it's too easy. It's such an easy loophole to get over. A loophole to get through. That's the segregation. I thought the whole point was with games you separate the halves. Otherwise,
No, but Tim,
you can have people.
Tim, by that logic, then only home fans would be able to buy.
No, because they set a certain amount for away. And you can't-
Exactly, but there's nothing stopping a Man City fan from getting a home ticket if the away tickets have been sold out.
So what's the point of even segregating then? The whole system.
Which because, okay, Tim,
Do you get? You're saying just get
Tim, it's not like a massive group of people are buying.
You
Buy
could though.
home fan.
That
You
could happen.
could,
That
yes,
could happen.
but-
And then the whole thing would be pointless. The whole thing would be pointless to separate because also all the Man City brands could just buy all the tickets for the home game.
They're not going to because like.
Why wouldn't they? They could be cheaper.
Well, firstly, you've got season ticket holders. They take up certain amounts of space. Secondly, I just completely lost my train of thought. Secondly, you can buy just because you buy a ticket. That doesn't necessarily. If let's say 100 Man City fans buy tickets, they're not necessarily going to be in the same bit because they're not worried about individual fans causing problem. They're worried about the mob mentality.
Are you telling me that this story is real? Are you basically blurting this story is real to me? Or are you really squeezing me away from it? Because damn, that is such filthy tactics.
I mean, I'm not going to say, am I?
But I know you've done dirty tactics in the past for other things. Just not like super, like outrageous. But I'm going to say, and the last story is really short and to the point, and it's not the first time I'm pretty sure that they're naming things after novel things. So I'm going to say that story, the one about the tooth thing is real, and that the one about the Man City game is fake.
Okay.
Just because I think the tooth one is really short, unless it's named after another game, which would be really lame. I mean, I've had some pretty lame lies, but that would just be so fucking lame. I remember the last one I got right was about the dog, and he went missing or he just died.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? People would be looking out for a dog. He's not going to go. He can't get that missing. It just died.
Yeah.
The one about the tooth one, if it really is like, oh, it's the tooth one, it wasn't named. It was named after a different game or a different ship or something. I had no idea. And I don't mind losing this one. I really don't, because if it is also the HS2 one, I wouldn't mind because I did hear about a story about it, and I'd feel justified for believing it because it's a putting two together. You might put those two and two together for me, but I wouldn't feel guilty about losing.
Put those HS2 and HS2s together.
So there we go. There we go.
Okay, right. So, Tim,
Yep.
crunch time.
Okay.
And speaking of crunches, I can reveal that the story about the teeth and the shark being named after Gallagher, that is true.
Cool.
Now, story about the Manchester City fan getting mixed up for the Huddersfield manager.
Yep.
That's true.
Cool. I don't feel bad about it.
I'll be honest. I
really don't feel bad about it because I heard the story. They were doing a train line. They found the Explorer's
The story
body.
was basically just the Explorer, but I decided to keep that in that and build on it because I saw that they must have gone through a graveyard, so they had multiple skeletons.
Oh,
I thought, wouldn't it be great if it'd be like a mystery where they don't know why they carry on bumping into all these skeletons? So I did feel bad for you there.
I don't feel bad. Don't feel bad for me. You didn't trick me.
No.
I wouldn't say you tricked me.
And if you're wondering why,
it's just that was the story I heard. They found actually, but I think they weren't surprised. It was just a grave. But I thought I'd miss it. I don't feel bad. It's all right.
Okay. And if you're wondering why I was being defensive about the Man City fan, it's because of course you can buy them.
But what's the point? Then there's no point in separating them because what stops a way?
Huddersfield fans would get priority access.
Well, what stops them from just going to the other side?
Well, Huddersfield fans.
Why can't Huddersfield side buy away tickets?
Well, they could, but they wouldn't want to.
Why would Man City sides want to buy home?
Because they want to see the match.
And vice versa.
I know, but Huddersfield. But look, Tim, the ratio is about 80-20. 80% home fans, 20% away fans, maximum.
For that particular
So there'd be no point in a Huddersfield fan getting an away ticket because there's a load more home tickets.
Okay. There we go. You got really defensive though. I really thought I got you. I don't say I got you, but I just thought.
I will say that I wasn't using that as like I wasn't doing that tactically. That was just genuinely just my reaction.
Well, no. If you had been using it tactically,
then that would have been really clever. As soon as you started saying that, I did think, hang on, I might have got it there. But
I don't feel bad though. So what was the actual true story about it then? Was it HS2?
Yeah, it was just...
It was HS2.
Yeah, that they found...
They went through a grave. Oh, here's this guy's body. Yeah. Oh, it's that explorer. Cool.
Because they actually had archaeologists with them because they knew they'd be going through that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Because I just manipulated saying that they didn't know why because they, quote, weren't. Even though they are. So...
The reason why I said they didn't know is because I assume the fact that going further up the line, if you're going through countryside, you would find the odd grave. And at one point earlier in the stage where they did find... the Explorer, which was in
Matthew Flinders.
Where was he in? Was this in London or whereabouts was it? Where were they at the point?
Ooh,
doesn't really matter. Point is,
I think they're about halfway.
I don't want to say you got me. You did get me, but I don't feel like you really did get me. It was inevitable that if I've heard that story, I was going to fall for it. Did get the other story though?
Yes.
What was it you swapped out for?
I swapped out the. Actually, for those of you we haven't actually explained this, I had originally. The third story was going to be a story about a man who managed to get from Brixton to Exmouth in to his I think his grandmother's house in Exmouth in Devon quicker than an ambulance did from Devon.
15 minutes journey or 10 minutes journey?
10 minutes journey, and his journey was 3 hours 40 minutes, and he was made aware of the injury 2.5 hours after
the paramedics
were first called because they were called multiple times, and he managed to beat them there by 50 minutes.
She must have called them while she was on the floor, right? I think that's the story. She called them while she was on the floor.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude,
I've had other family members calling for her.
They fucking suck, the NHS. I mean, look, the NHS is great, but also... It was to do they blame.
But basically, the idea
they blamed the priority thing. They said she was a lower priority
because it was not a risk of life, apparently.
But over time, it will become one anyway.
Also, in this case, then why is everybody suddenly dying at the same time in Exmouth?
If it's 10 minutes away.
Yeah, because he claimed it was 10 minutes away.
You could just have a doctor pop round. If it's not a risk thing, it's only 10 minutes away. You could just because they normally have the smaller vans. I've seen the smaller ambulance which normally take around for if you are having a carer. I think probably my grandma, she had a temporary carer who was they come in those vans because they had supplies and stuff, general supply. They could have just done that. I don't know.
Basically,
everyone was dying.
Yeah, I did have that story in there, but in conversation before we started recording, Tim brought it up.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh no. Luckily, I originally put the Gallagher story in there. Mm-hmm. Then I saw that one and I thought, oh, that's a great story. I've got to put this in the thing. But luckily I remembered it, so I put the Gallagher one back in.
Cool.
It's always good to have a backup.
Well, there we go.
There we go, indeed.
It's 3-9. I'm now.
No, it's six points for me and 3 points for you.
So I'm now
It's exactly what I
guessing.
guessed.
Well, that wasn't a guess. That one, I think,
No.
I feel like it was like a half victory for you.
Yeah, hollow victory.
Hollow victory.
Because I didn't realise you heard about this, but
I
sometimes
literally said right near the end of it, I was like, yeah, I've heard the story before.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh.
at one point you did say how they were going through a grave, and I thought, oh god, is he going to catch me straight away? And the fact that I said they hadn't gone through any graveyards, but you must have forgotten that bit.
No, I didn't forget about it.
Oh,
I just
right.
thought, like, they've gone through several things. I just thought by the time, like, during the journey, they found the odd grave here and there they didn't know about, but then they found a proper. He didn't say. It was me, I guess, just, it's life.
It's
what it is. It's just life.
Is this going to be the second segment in a row that ends with, well, that's life?
That's life, you know?
Turn the bush. Well, that's
It's
life.
just life. There we are. And with that, we'll end it.
Yeah. Time for our final segment. Time for the final segment.
It is indeed.
And that final segment is...
Bottom of the alternatives.
We're almost in sync.
Are we ready?
Not the band.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, again, for those listeners, old and new, what we do at the end of the show is we play a game called Bottom of the Alternatives. What we do is we take a section of a popular song, take the lyrics, make every word in said lyrics the opposite, present the opposite lyrics to our co-host, and our co-host has to figure out what song we have opposited through the opposited lyrics. It is relatively simple. But Tim, why, of all things, is this segment called Bottom of the Alternatives?
The reason why it's called Bottom of the Alternatives is because during the 1950s to the early 2000s, there was a British broadcasting corporation show called Top of the Pops, where once a week a band would perform live,
big air quotes,
in front of a live audience.
They were giving it their best.
Yes, I think they had it on audio. I'd hope they would. I hope they had like displaying out the speakers. Right.
Yeah, they would have had that.
And that's if you get the name Bottom of the Alternatives and flip it around, you get Top of the Pops, or the other way around. Top of the Pops, reverse it, Bottom of the Alternatives. Bam, there we go.
It's relatively clever.
You came up with the idea. It is clever.
Yes, I did. I hate to boast, but but most of the creative input on this show is from me.
It's fine.
But that doesn't mean that you're not important here too. If
Thank
anything,
you.
Tim, you're the most important cog of all. Because if it was just me doing this, how dull would that be?
I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be very different.
I mean, I am thinking of doing a second podcast talking about certain things by my lonesome.
Really? Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, I could do it in my own time. I wouldn't replace this.
No.
But to do it as well. That's in the works, so to speak.
Of how
And I will almost certainly mention it the moment I start it on this show. So
And would you be uploading it to the same place?
not on the same feed, no.
No.
Different feed.
We'll see how we'll compare them. And if it's better, well,
Well, no, he's not going to be
resign.
comparing. He's not comparing the podcast because the idea of it is to be about wrestling.
you do
So if
wrestling
it's about a
thing.
certain subject, this is just us.
Fair enough. That's a good idea. Go for it. I think
I will. So, and I'm going to use that as a cue to also do my bottom alternative first.
Go for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It goes like this.
Go for it.
They're, yes, friends to hate. I'm oblivious to the crimes, or therefore don't you. An empty unfaithfulness when you're saying in. I would take that to specific you, girl.
That's it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I really struggled with the first. So what was the first line?
They are, as in they are.
Yeah.
They are, yes, friends to hate.
Here, no enemies to love.
No.
Completely wrong.
I think you got no, right? But
Friends,
so there.
enemies.
No, we'll start with there.
Here,
No, it's in there, they are.
they are.
So it's we are.
Are.
We're.
We're
No. And you got it right for no.
We're no
And the word is friends.
enemies.
No, okay, it's not enemies.
Rival.
Now think about it. Okay, what is it? Okay, who is okay, define what a friend is.
Someone you know and you get along with.
Okay, what's the opposite of somebody who you know?
Stranger.
Stranger. It's strangers.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules. And so do I. It's full commitment that I'm for.
Oh, you
You
can't
wanna
hit
get this
those
from
notes.
any other guy. There it is, done.
That was Tim deliberately doing a. I mean, technically, have you just rickrolled them?
I did indeed.
And did technically I rickroll you?
No.
No, I didn't.
No, got it.
For those somehow unaware, that was never going to give you up by Rick Astley.
I got it within 3 words.
Yes. What, we're no strangers. Sometimes you can get them really quickly. Sometimes
I even
it
put
takes
it.
a long time.
I put it to love.
Yeah. Now, so, do you remember the second line?
You know the rules, and so do I.
So that was, I'm oblivious to the crimes, or therefore don't you.
It's full commitment that I'm searching,
Thinking of.
thinking of.
Which is an empty unfaithfulness when you're saying in.
You wouldn't get this from any other guy.
I would take that to specifically you, girl.
Oh, there we go. I'm
There
ready.
we go.
You want to hear my one? Oh shit!
What have you done?
No, it's good. It's good. We're good.
It's just-
I need to check I've got it right though.
Yeah, Tim has a weird habit of getting it of. Well, he also has a habit of not reading his handwriting.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to change that there.
Okay. Right. So,
It's alright.
for those who are unaware,
Yeah.
we've probably described this before, but with this, I prepare my one
I don't.
beforehand. Tim does not.
I have though, and it's still made.
You have in the
I
past.
still screwed up. Okay, but you ready? Here we go.
Okay. I'm gonna. Yes.
She wrote, "You've gone from a decade infinity." You looked at my phone.
I didn't mean to.
Did you see what was on it?
No.
Okay, good.
I just basically I'm looking over to you, and then I can just see this slightly tilted phone screen. It's like, oh, there's the lyrics on there. Couldn't tell what for.
Okay. She wrote, "You've gone from a decade infinity."
Right.
Yes, some hasn't remained. Also, I died in midair.
Sorry. I don't know why, but that's tickled me.
Only my disappointing son isn't ugly awful.
Isn't ugly awful. I don't know why, but there's something about also I died in midair, which it's really tickled me. It just sounds like oh, by the way, I didn't die from the fall. I died in midair.
No, so
Right. So what's the first line?
she wrote, "You've gone from a decade infinity."
Okay, so she wrote you, but he
Yep.
opposite of wrote said.
Uh-huh.
He said
You've
he said
gone.
gone. Arrived.
Been.
Been. Okay. He said I've been
From
to
a
the
decade.
Is this another unit of time? Been to the day?
Year
Said I've been to the day.
to the year.
Uh,
He's
oh.
been to the year.
I said day and you said yes.
No, I said no. No, I didn't say yes or no. I just said year.
I thought you were saying year, like you like
No, I
saying
said
year.
year.
You're saying year.
A year.
Like, I said, oh, for God's sake!
Infinity. I don't know what you do for that number.
Is this number by any chance 3,000?
Quite big.
You know when it's that sort of thing. You just correctly get it, and then been to the year, and you thought, oh. Is also I died in the air. Is that it's the same, but they live underwater.
Yeah.
And that's why it's great, and it was.
I said, and, it says, yeah. So it says, and your great, and your great granddaughter Only my disappointing.
Disappointing.
Well, great,
I
disappointing.
could go for awful.
No, I did
I
awful,
got for awful.
fine. Or
Oh
awful.
yeah. That is.
There we go.
Well, I'll tell you something. That might be the quickest bot
It might be.
alternatives we've ever done.
It might be. We both got it.
We've been
within,
really
we both. Well, I got
brisk.
it within 3 words. You got it.
I got it within-
the line, the first line.
7.
7. Damn. Pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Pretty
Damn,
fine.
I don't believe that. Incredible.
And on that note of surprising competence, I think that brings us to the end of the show. So thank you so much for listening. I just got slightly distracted there by hearing a cup being put on a table from downstairs, but never mind. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, then please do subscribe on whatever you happen to be listening on.
Do you subscribe on? That tasted like. Ugh. Damn, this.
Tim, for those not in the room with two people, just tried to take a fleeting sip of drink, i.e. there wasn't much in there, but he tried
lemonade,
anyway.
But it just tastes like washing up liquid.
Oh dear.
Ugh, that stuff tastes crap when it's flat.
Are you sure it might not just be a bit of residue washing up liquid
But
from
I've
when
got
you
like
washed
through
it?
3 drinks.
You never know.
Never know. Okay, sorry, carry on.
Yes, so you subscribe to whatever you're listening on. You can give us a review if you fancy. That would be lovely. And be honest.
Be honest.
We want actual advice.
We want advice.
You don't have to be worried that if you think that we've been crap and you don't want to put a crap review, don't worry about it. Because we just want truthfulness. We are the most honest podcast on the internet.
We want to. We don't mind
It's a
criticism.
tagline.
We want a criticism.
Yeah, we want it. Give it to us.
Give it.
Please.
No. No.
You could see where I was going with that,
Yes.
couldn't you?
No. So,
So, as I said, give us a review. If you want to get in contact with us, you can email us, twoinbushpodcast@gmail.com, or you can get us on Twitter at twoinbushpod. That's slightly weirdly intonated. But I think that's it. That's all the stuff I have to say. So,
if there's a little bit of a delay between you messaging us and us replying...
that's probably because I haven't checked them, because we don't normally get any messages.
no, that's what I was setting up for. We have buckets of emails coming in, so maybe at the time that we get to yours. But hopefully we'll get to it.
Yes, hopefully.
What was the last time we checked, actually? You know, we actually might have some.
We might, but you know...
Can you check now? Let's quickly check now. This section was
Well,
really
check
short.
it live.
Yeah, check it live.
I mean, it's a short segment to be
Go
fair.
for it. It's fun.
I mean, I don't have it logged in on any of my mail account.
Squeeze sign in.
Email accounts.
It'll be fine. Squeeze sign in. You know the password, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's hear it.
Oh, God.
So this could either be a game breaker, or this could be a game changer. Sorry, game changer that somebody might have
emailed in.
No one.
Hang on, I've just got to open the thing.
If it has, we'll answer the question, or we'll say thank you for your criticisms or
Okay.
approval.
Hang on. Tim, can you fill for a second? Because I've got to do this.
Sure, that's absolutely fine. I have like 3 emails. I never check them. I do check one of them occasionally.
Well, you didn't check the one we had to check in for the flight. For the flight.
No,
to
I
Prague.
didn't check in the flight. But we did. I got it in time. I remember though once I was really like on point of checking, but it didn't matter because I still nearly got screwed over by Eurostar, which is really bad of them. It was they within the last, I think it was, I had 24 hours before we were set to head off to Paris, and all of a sudden they said our train was cancelled, which is really weird. I thought there was only like a few trains that go in the day, but apparently they decided to cancel them. But fortunately I managed to get a new train for completely free. I mean, we obviously paid for the first one.
Oh, for God's sake, it's saying this device isn't recognised for your security.
Oh, no.
I've got to bloody put my phone number in.
Oh no, do you know your phone number?
I do.
Okay, cool. Hey,
This isn't yet more filling. I've already done all the outro bits.
That's fine.
What am I going to do with the music? It normally plays over this. It's going to
right.
be enough thing.
That's alright, we can redo the intro.
No.
Intro. But there could actually be a reply. If there is a reply, this is going to be the most super exciting. I'm really sorry if there isn't one. It's going to be quite annoying.
Right, so now I've got to wait for the verification text to come through.
And then let me guess, you're given a code.
Yeah.
You put a code in.
I'm
and
opening
then
my
as you
messages
in,
now. And
yes.
Then... Oh, hello.
What's the text? Don't say the code because then they can open it later on.
No, I'm not going to do that. So, hold on. I'm just going to...
I'm actually kind of excited. I really hope someone has just replied. That assumes they made it to the end of 2 hours. Maybe didn't we say that we would discuss putting it at the front?
Well, you suggested that, and I came up with the response of that would imply that it's an email-based show, which it isn't, because obviously we haven't had many emails. In fact, we're just about to check if we have had any.
And
it's just loading. Your Wi-Fi.
It's great. It's Wi-Fi's fantastic in this house.
I don't care about protecting my account.
I don't care. I think it's good though, because you might as well be signed in.
I don't care right now.
You might as well keep it signed in. It'd be a good point to remember anyway. So the next time we do it, you can just check like that. Bam.
What the hell's it doing?
What's it doing? What's it saying?
It just did the thing like load the load bar comes up like 3 times. Oh, for God's sake! Like,
what's
it's saying go to the Gmail app. I've already got the Gmail app for another account.
Man, isn't life just horrible?
Okay.
This is the This is the issue that comes with having everything at our fingertips. It will never be quick enough.
No.
None.
Absolutely
empty.
Yes, apart from just things that come through from Twitter.
Oh, fair enough.
But that's not. But that's like saying, "Hey, people you follow have tweeted this."
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can be the first person to send an email. It could even just be K. That would be funny. Just the letter K would be hilarious.
It would be.
So yeah, should we roll? Should you wrap it up again?
Well, you heard all of the other things, so thank you very much for listening, all that jazz, and I hope this is probably vaguely entertaining. So, Tim, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from me.